So, good afternoon. It is Saturday, March 26th, and the hubby and I are, of course, on our way to eat again. But we failed to invite you to our travels to Bob's screening yesterday, and it was awesome. Let me have him tell you a little bit about that. And so Boo, how was the screening yesterday?
Well, it was awesome. You know, not just my film, but we had 4 other films that were featured from my classmates in our production class at Scribe Video. So it was a packed house, standing room only, literally. We didn't even have enough seats for everybody. And as it turned out, everybody's film was fantastic.
Absolutely.
A little bit about Unjust, you know, if you haven't already heard about it, Unjust was a film, a short documentary, 14 minutes and 8 seconds, about a community corrections facility and a facility managed by the Philadelphia Prison Systems in Philadelphia. And what I wanted to do is just kind of talk about the unjust situations in both facilities. And I wanted to get a perspective from a former employee and also a perspective from a former inmate. And that's exactly what I did. So they talked about, you know, some of the issues that occurred within both respective facilities, what they had to endure, what they witnessed. And it's kind of a part of a global issue related to mass incarceration in the United States. And so Unjust kind of was a small depiction of that. And, you know, I gave my personal experience because, you know, obviously working as a operations manager in a facility on a daily basis, I witnessed a lot of unjust situations, and in the end, you know, kind of start speaking up about it, and as a result, management found a way to fire me behind that. Not directly, because of course, you know, they don't want to say that they fired me because I spoke up. So they use some real convoluting tactics to, you know, get me out of the facility. And I wanted to expose them, not because I had sour grapes, but because it just got to a point where the situations that were occurring in the facility needed to be exposed.
Well, it sounds like, and I hear that there were some others who have got the boot as well.
Yeah, we lost, since I've left, about 3 to 4 more people have been terminated for pretty much the same thing, speaking up about it. And as a result, I'm going to do a full-length feature, Unjust 2. And I've had several of those former employees come to me and want to get on camera and talk about their respective experiences. The challenging part to the first documentary was I couldn't get people to get on camera and talk about what was going on because they were afraid that they would lose their job, or they was afraid that there would be some repercussions from them speaking up. Now, I've got several people who are willing to get on camera and talk about the real unjust situations, or an extension of the unjust situations that are going on. Because of all the people that came out to see the film, and I had a lot of support from my former colleagues, the overwhelming issue was, Rob, you didn't tell it all. There was not, you know, enough time on that short to tell all of what goes on in that facility. So I already kind of thought about making it a full feature, but now I'm convinced that I have to do it.
Well, you know, it's against the law, a state law, the labor law, for anyone to be fired because they speak up. So it really sounds like you all have a lawsuit on your hands.
Well, the slick part on the part of management is that they use certain things that people have done within the facility to fire them for very minute and minor things that people do, and they use those things to generate a paper trail on you
for a pink slip.
Yeah, and then as a result, they end up firing you. And so, you know, obviously you can sue anybody for anything. But
yeah, you can.
But
I think
it would be a challenging lawsuit.
I think a judge would see that so many people are complaining about the same thing. So many people have been fired for false accusations or whatever. But I don't know. It's just something to think about.
It is.
But
we all have thought about it.
Yeah.
And we all have talked about it, doing it to do it collectively.
So
we'll see what happens.
So the full feature, you're starting that now?
Yeah, I'm going to start it next week.
Okay. And when do you expect it to be ready?
Well, it's March now. It took me 6 months to do the short. So I'm looking at maybe 90 days.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
It's just
and you got other projects that got to be done. So
right. It's just a matter of getting all the people together and their willingness to actually talk when they get on camera, because I did this in the beginning and I had a lot of people that said they wanted to get on camera and talk about it, but when it came time to do the shoot, you know, people kind of fizzled out. So I do seriously have my skepticisms.
So what's on the agenda today?
Well, we're on our way to a 906 meeting. We have bi-weekly meetings for 906 Multimedia, and one of the things that we always like to do is feed our associates.
And feed our faces.
And feed ourselves, definitely. But we like to do that because, you know, right now, you know, we're not really at the capacity where we can pay everybody a full-time salary. And so we try to, you know, accommodate them in ways, you know, that are different than just, you know, put money in people's pockets. Obviously, when people start generating revenue for the projects that we have planned, you know, that will change.
Exactly.
But as time goes on, it definitely will change. But right now, you know, one of the things that I want to do as president of the company is, you know, to make sure that we take care of our associates in different ways that traditional companies do.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that kind of ruffled my feathers with the last two companies that I worked for is that they really had no compassion for their employees. It was
no incentive programs, nothing like that.
Profit. It was all about, you know, what they can make and how much money they can make. And trust me, both of those companies were making a lot of money and not really, you know, thinking about their employees. And so one of the things that I will not do as a president of this company is not think about my employees and not appreciate what they do. So every chance I get, I'm going to go against the grain. And people may say I'm crazy for this, but I'm going to go against the grain and take care and always think about my employees and take care of them as best we can. So every time we have an event, every time we have a meeting, we celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, we celebrate by either going out and hanging out with each other and breaking bread. We celebrate just by doing, you know, some things that keep us close as a family. And that's how we operate as a family.
You know, it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's just so biblical the way you take care of your employees. Because as in the Bible, and I don't mean to get religious, but in the Bible, that's the way Jesus did it. He broke bread. He broke bread. He got his, you know, apostles or his disciples to help out. And that was his way of, you know, he didn't have anything, so